Hi everybody, it's Willie's American Guitars video time. Today's video is about the Telecaster Thinline. So we got several of them here. This is a real 1975 Telecaster, and I'll start here. This, as I've told you guys before, most things started mid-year. The NAMM show, the National Association of Music Merchants, was always in June in Chicago at the McCormick Center, and people then showed off their new items. Stuff made before June, a lot of times had old features. Stuff made after June when they took orders from the new features. So I think a lot of people think that when you say 1974, it's all of 74. When you say 1975, it's all of 75. Here's my point. This has a white pickguard. Generally, the white guard is in 74. It's a 74 feature. By 75, they started using black plastic. You'll see 75, 6, 7s with black plastic. This is a 75 guitar. And it's got white plastic, which doesn't really mean anything except it's got white plastic. These Thinlines, of course, came out in 1967. They made a smuggler's telly because in that era, a lot of the bands were playing hollow body guitars. Hollow body was starting to come back, part of the folk movement, Buffalo Springfield, and so many bands that were out there were a little more country tinged, and so having a hollow body was a thing. Rickenbacker, most of their guitars, you see so many guitars that are 67, 68, because that's what they wanted, F-hole. And it's true as well with 335s and 330s. There's a ton of them from the late 60s because that was the trend of the day. Fender wanted to get on board, so they created a smuggler's telly at first, which hollowed it out, and then put a top on. Then later, they developed this Thinline to get that. Now the nice thing, obviously, is being able to play the guitar on your lap. But through an amplifier, you get a little more of that. You get a little more hollow sound out of it. These Fender humbucking pickups can be really bright and crisp, and they buck the hum, so they're quiet as well. This era has become really hot. These guitars just 4 years ago were selling for a lot less than they are now, and I've got some news for you. The vintage guitar market is going up. It went up, according to Vintage Guitar Magazine, about 15% last year in general, and they seem to continue to rise in value. This is a custom shop. Now, we've been waiting for this guitar. We ordered it a couple of years ago. And this is a custom shop, and it's an earlier Thinline copy. A copy of a 68, 69 Thinline that still has the single coils. This one has brass saddles, which weren't on that. They were making steel saddles. And a flat pole, more of a broadcaster style pickup. So this guitar is a Telecaster, kind of like a 50s Telecaster in its appointments, flat pole pickup, and that is the pole pieces don't stick up, they're flat, and these typically are wound a little hotter. And then the brass saddles, that's very much a 50s thing, but this is a copy of a 68 guitar with kind of a 50s vibe to it. Transparent ash, really lightweight, waited 2 years for it, here it is, and yeah, these are always like $4,000 to $5,000, your custom shop stuff constantly, and they sell really well. That's with both pickups on. pickup. See, it is a 50s style Telecaster. They have that large capacitor in there that was meant to simulate a bass. See, you can fire the bass player because you got that sound that does that. That's a capacitor that we can pull out of that. But this is really kind of a 52 Tele meets 68 Tele vibe on this custom shop. And that capacitor on there is easy to remove, but they left it on there to be authentic. Middle position. Bridge position. All right, I got one more. This is a US made, an American vintage too, and basically this guitar is a copy of the Icon that sits next to me, and this is something that's a little more reasonable in the 24 instead of the 44. There you go. That is, because it's out of tune, I'm going to cut the video short, but this is an ash-bodied Telecaster, American-made Thinline. These pickups are quite bright, but hum-canceling, and you really get that Fender sound, that bright crispness out of it. And there you go. This is Thinline, 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 and on that, we'll let you go back to what you were doing. Thanks.